Brittany, thank you. The weather's looking pretty good for those traveling from Tallahassee or surrounding areas to the Classic, Quintin, but I know you have more in sports, so what's going on?
Well, I have some reaction from Florida State sports teams on the tragic events that took place on campus. And the Rattlers had a special visitor, and we'll talk more about that in sports.
Well, stay tuned. You're watching News 20 at 5.
Welcome back to News 20 at 5. I'm Quintin Gee with your sports. With the tragic events that took place on Florida State University's campus early Thursday morning, there were definitely some raw, somber emotions from FSU sports teams. And heading into FSU's home game against Boston College University, head coach Jimbo Fisher says an event like this outweighs a football game. But he talked about what role sports can play in tough situations like this, even comparing it to 9/11.
I think getting back to the sports world kind of made, it's not forget, but kind of put things back in perspective and give some people to relax and get their mind off of it for maybe a little while. And I think that's very important. And I think that's one of the great qualities that sports does have. It unites a community. Tragic situations do, and they're very united. But I think also sports does in a positive way a lot of times.
And FSU's women's basketball team will be on the road in North Texas. But the Lady Noles are participating in the Hospitality Hill Challenge, taking on Eastern Illinois University. And after the tragic events on campus, the team says it really makes you appreciate life.
I think definitely it all puts things in perspective, and you never know what is going to hold, what the day is going to hold. And certainly I just want to commend the campus police at Florida State for the way they handled this incident.
Getting back on the gridiron, Florida A&M University's football team is in Orlando for the Florida Blue Florida Classic. And earlier this week, the Rattlers received a visit from legendary head coach Bobby Bowden. Bowden, of course, coached the Seminoles for 33 years, and he's the winningest head coach in major college football. But Bowden's success wasn't immediate. In his first season as head coach, he went 5-6, but he says that year laid the foundation for FSU football. And Coach Bowden challenged the guys to do the same thing by getting a win in the Classic. Bowden also thinks his former player, Corey Fuller, who's FAMU's interim head coach, will make a good head coach.
Do I think he could? Yes, I really do. He's got a lot of leadership qualities. He's got a lot of character qualities, and he don't put up with much foolishness. I think he'd be a very good one.
And as far as the Classic goes, interim head coach Corey Fuller says he has more than enough confidence to put the game in the hands of his quarterback, Damian Fleming. And Fleming, who's just 509 yards shy of being FAMU's all-time leading passer. But his concern is getting a win, especially since he was sidelined with an injury in last year's Florida Classic. But on to the high school football gridiron. With 14 local teams left in the playoffs, we gear up for the second round of high school football. But we're focusing on 3 Tallahassee schools. Godby will take on West Florida at Gene Cox Stadium. And Florida High will take on Madison County at Madison County. And North Florida Christian has an away game against University Christian. But now on to college hoops. The women's basketball team at Florida A&M University was in action yesterday, picking up their first win of the season, taking down Weber International 52-41. The team is now 1-2 on the season. Well, that's it for your sports. I'm Quintin Gee. Back to you at the desk, Donovan.